Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm Dr. Harikrishnan. Welcome to my page, Life Made Up of Questions. After a long time, I'm with a creative idea to have a creative person along with me. It's none other than Poet Love from Indonesia, my dear friend, Lavri Adrinash, along with his friend Andy Nu. They are joining us from Indonesia. So, welcome, Poet Love, with love from India.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hari Krishnan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, actually, I want to share one thing about Poet Love. We have not met each other straight away, but unknowingly or knowingly, we are quite good friends for a long couple of years. And I am very much fond of his fascinating poetry skills in Facebook. He is such a wonderful poet with spontaneous skills. And I will share one incident before joining with him. During one time, I just asked him, "Can you please write a poem about me?" So yeah, I just for fun I asked, but Love took it serious and he was telling that yeah, sure I will do. But continuously I was poking him, yeah, please, please, please. So once in a while he wrote a poem, and it was quite good. That observation skill, that spontaneity, everything was there. Just going through my wall post, he came to a conclusion and his imaginations are beyond my expectation, and he is having quite good followers in Indonesia. So welcome my dear Poet Love to join this interactive session. So we can call it as a chit chat with Poet Love from Indonesia with love from India. Welcome you. So Love, kindly introduce yourself because viewers are not much aware about Poet Love, so please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Hari.
Thank
My
you.
name is Levi Ardiansa. I am lecturer, researcher, and now a bilingual poet from Indonesia. I'm also a generalist, an author. I wrote book, for example, Robotic Philosophy and Science. Also, books titled Earth and Law of Associations. I love poetry, so I wrote poetry with my heart. But in this cool opportunity, I want to answer the question, Dr. Hari. What is poetry? I think there are almost as many definitions of poetry as there are poets and critics who have written about it. The trouble with most of them is that the definition of poetry to be so abstract and nebulous. We heard that poetry is a spirit. It comes, we know not when. It's so abstract and nebulous. Some say that poetry is an intuition into the hidden nature of things. Poetry is the breath and final spirit of all knowledge. It's so abstract. Poetry is the to which comprehends all science, and that to which all science must be referred. But uh, whatever poetry is, it is not something else. It is not religion or philosophy, or aesthetic, or even it is not science, or poetry is not knowledge. So it again only remains us that poetry is something unlike anything else and something difficult to define. So that's why in this cool opportunity, I want to share about what is poetry. It is in the same class of, I mean, the abstract definition of poetry. It is uh, in the same class of definition as Emily Dickinson said. If I read a book and I feel physically as if the top of my head were taken off, I know that that is poetry. Is there any other way? So ultimately, Dr. Harry, perhaps there is no other way of knowing that is poetry is a particular stimulus which provides a certain kind of response in the right sort of reader. And the whole business of criticism is an effort to try and discover what the nature of that stimulus is. I say that poetry is a particular stimulus, but and what the nature of that response is, what the stimulus is. So I think that in the poetry, we are in the form in different words from that of the prose statement. So there is poetry, there is prose. It's different. First, I think it is about the experiencing of thought or idea or subject or material presented to it. And secondly, the words in which the experience is communicated are different. So the raw material of poetry, I think, is human experience.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So human
So,
experience.
according to Poet Love, he is telling that there is a stimulus for writing in poetry. It is
Okay.
the human experience, isn't it? Yeah. So, I'm having
Yes.
one question to Poet Love. During my childhood days, during my schooling, I had gone through a lot of poems because it is mandatory that we must have the literature as our study in school curriculum. So, of course, after reading a poem, the teacher will be dictating according to the poet. The perspective is like this, and we will be writing. And the same thing we have to write in the exam in order to score the marks. But as a student or as at that age, I used to think why I should think like the poet. It is his imagination. While reading the poem, I must have my own imagination, creative thinking, right? So, are you joining? What is your opinion about this? So, I argued with that teacher why I have to write according to the poet. According to my perspective, I can comment a little bit why you are not giving marks. So, all made fun of me. That is not possible as per the syllabus. You must write like this as per the poet. But I used to develop a creative thinking of myself and interpretation from my side. I think that must be the in order to develop, as you mentioned, it's a stimulus. We must have our own perspective. So how do you comment, Poet Love, on it?
Okay. Yes, imagination is very important in writing poetry, you know. Our we imagine some things that's very special, so we can write it in a beautiful word. But it also must be based on our experience. I think our experience. So imaginations without experience, it is so difficult to write it beautifully in words. What do you
Okay,
think?
yeah, that's correct. But yeah, that stimulus must be there. I used to write poem, especially in my mother tongue, because I'm more. I am considering to express the feelings. It will be more comfortable if you're writing something in our mother tongue. So I used to write poem based upon my own interpretation and my own perspective. But the thing is that all the interpretations can have a different platform. For accordingly, I had chosen the virtual background of a creative thinking right now. This image itself can be interpreted in several ways. So, based upon the perspective of a poet, he or she can develop an abstract idea and enhance it to another level of vision. But my question is that I will earlier I had shared, and I want to get some perspective from your side as a poet. I made an argument with that English teacher. She was telling, not only in English, in Hindi also, according to the poet, this is meant like this because the poet himself or herself has written this poem, and we are just following the same thing. Actually, the curriculum is not enabling a student to think beyond that. Actually, my question was that why shouldn't the question be changed like this? What is the, after reading this poem, what is the interpretation of you after reading this poem? How it sounds, Mr. Love? I hope you got the question.
Okay. Yeah, especially for students or for us, just if you want to write poetry, so there is rhyme, okay, and just write it. Your imaginations, knowledge, experience, just write it. But rhyme scheme is very important in poetry. How we could write a word with a beautiful rhyme scheme. The second step or second important thing in poetry, I think, syllable count. How many count? How many syllable count? It's so if you know about the rhyme scheme and syllable count, try to write your imaginations and your experience in a beautiful word. I think like that, Dr. Harry.
Yeah, of course.
Especially
And
for
I
the
think,
student, yeah, especially for the students. Yes.
yeah. So, yeah, that should be the creative thinking. A platform for creative thinking has to be developed, and they must get an ample of opportunity to have to express their views upon certain concept. Then only a creative skills can be developed. That's my perspective, and I hope that Poet Love is also agreeing with it. And for example, when I used to read your poems, I used to make some interpretations because the rhyming words, the matching sentences, the sounds
Yeah.
of the words, everything, it's a pattern of a poet. And when I had gone through your poem, what I have felt is that there is this pattern. Your pattern of writing makes you unique. That is your uniqueness, that pattern.
Yeah.
So, how? What is your that taste of selecting such rhyming words or like pattern? How you prefer selecting that pattern? Because I am not a professional poet, but when I gone through that poems, the most catchy thing is that the rhyming words, the catchy sentences, the pattern, the repetitive pattern. So, what is the pattern of your style? Can you please explain your pattern?
Um. Okay. About the pattern of new poetic, for example, her poetry I create have an in rhyme poetry. This is the new pattern or the new poetic form I create. The important pattern is the end rhyme. And I wrote also had rhyme. If I start to write a poetry, so for example, a consonant as to form a sentence is very important. Beginning of a sentence or line, and rhyme also in the in rhyme. Have an in rhyme the first consonant, for example, and the in rhyme, so it continue beautifully. I write it. That is, I call her poetry. This is the new patterns of poetics, Dr. Hari.
Yeah, fine. So it's quite interesting, your style of writing, your way of expression. everything stands unique, and yeah, I do enjoy reading your poem. So, so you are an instant poet, and based upon our conversation which we had today, I hope that you will be ending it in a poem very soon, based on this occasion. Right? Is it possible? It's a challenge for you.
Okay.
I'm asking whether it's possible based upon today's meeting. Like, are you able to develop a poem? Will you be able to develop a poem based upon today's meeting?
What?
Based upon our
So sorry, I
interactive
can't
session.
hear you.
Yeah, we are having an interview right now. It's an interactive session.
Okay.
So based upon this interactive section, can you write a poem based upon it?
Oh. Especially about her poetry, yeah?
Yeah, her poetry in the sense we are having
Okay.
this interview. Based upon this interview, can you write a poem? That's my question towards you.
Okay, I can write my poem.
Yeah.
But okay.
So thank you, love. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So in the upcoming events, we'll be having some good experience with
Okay.
poets in
You're most
Indonesia.
welcome, Dr. Harry.
Thank you.
Okay.
What?
You're most
Pardon?
welcome, Dr. Harry.
Yeah,
Greeting
yeah.
from Indonesia.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So for
Yes,
all
Dr.
of us,
Andi, my friend.
can you please please sing a poem for us? Can you please read a poem for us on this occasion?
Okay.
So please, a poem from
what poetry?
yeah,
Okay.
your
I will
latest poetry. Can you please sing it?
Okay.
So it will be quite happy to hear from your sound from Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. I will read my queen.
Yeah, sure.
My king. Okay. Wait.
Yeah, please carry on.
Just from the
Okay.
phone, I think.
I will read.
Yes.
Great. So we are having the poet Love.
Okay,
He is
wait.
going to read his poem, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
Okay. Wait. My pleasure. Well, wait a minute. uh, okay. My queen, my king. Okay.
So you're ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
So with this we
Yeah.
can wind it up. A poem from poet Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Poetry, my queen, my king. I read for Dr. Harikrishnan. And there is also here Dr. Andi, who has read this poetry in the Silk Road Literature Anthology, Ancient Egyptians, Modern Food. Okay, I will read now. My queen, my king. My queen, my king. Hatshepsut, beauty's queen. You most lovely king of all politeness. Human eyes now see, never seen. Yes, her great legend studies future greatness. She dresses woman's weird crown with round horn. And she sat from the well that people see. She typed Egypt into her double crown. And she sat rule the two lands and mislead. After that,
There.
her monuments were destroyed. Her names omitted from Egyptian king list. A heart high sorrowful has made me
Make me
cry.
cry.
Her tilted eyes on my window spread miss. Oh, how I love my queen, my real king,
Yeah.
on the healthier earth, filled with wondrous things. Thank you very much, Dr. Hadi.
Yeah,
Here's
fine.
also Dr. Andy.
Yeah.
So we are expecting more
Nice,
from
nice.
Poet Love. So we are expecting
Okay.
more in the upcoming
Yeah.
days. So thank you, Dr. Thank you, Poet Love and Dr. Andy Noor for joining this
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
It was
most
quite fun and
welcome, Dr.
interactive session to
Hadi.
share our ideas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
So
most welcome.
See you later.
yeah, see you soon. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet
So
you.